Alright, good morning everybody. We are here with break 399. It is another 25 elite combo break and our team list for this one. Broncos, Mike Bekker. Raiders, Craig Milson. Bulldogs, John Mannah. Sharks, Taylor Shillam. Dolphins, David Wyatt. Titans, Jack Muller. Manly, Peter Lowe. Storm, Beck Sommerfeld. Knights, Johnny D. Cowboys, Damon, Rowe. Eels, Steve Harris. Panthers, Josh Ellis. Rabbitohs, John Turner. Rabbitohs, John Turner. Dragons, Warren Stoddart. Roosters, William Goodger. Warriors, Peter Lowe. Tigers, Lee Marshall. I've done it again. I sculled me coffee just before I went live, but we are good. Everything is there in the background. Let's bring up the chat and the team list. We are down to only 2 payments left in break 400. And once we have them, we'll be doing the team randomizer. Breaking that one on Monday morning. We have our priority and our USA. We have our case. Let's find out what lucky case card is sitting inside today. Mum and Dad are at Grandparents' Day for the school. Don't know if they're loving it, but I know the kids would be. Today's lucky winner of the case card, number 40 for the Dolphins, David Wyatt. Let's get these out and get stuff in. Let's go. Box number 1. In the reps, Dylan Edwards. Marquee, Joseph Tarpanay for the Raiders. Zach Lomax, parallel for the Eels. New recruit, Cooley Kefu for the Dolphins. Ruby Mojo, Xavier Savage for the Raiders, number 45. Cowboys parallel, Tommy Dearden. G'day, mate. Marquee Valami kick out for the Bulldogs. Golden Marquee Reese Walsh for Broncos, number 58. Roosters parallel checklist. New recruit, Carl Lawton for the Cowboys. Dally M, Millie Elliott for the Roosters. G'day, Mike. Dolphins parallel checklist. Not sure if you just seen the tag, Mike. Waiting on a couple of payments from 400. If we don't get them in, you're one of the next two in. New recruit Hohepa for the Sharks. We had one person pull out already, and number 18 get the call up. Kangaroos in the Masters series. Xavier Coates, parallel for Storm. In the reps, Jessica Surgis. It's got to be one of the most hyped cards in our breaks lately, William. If you hit it, I think you'll owe Ben a thank you. White League Sensations, number 24 for the Tigers. Tyrell Sloan, parallel for the Dragons. New recruit Jazz Tavega for Manly. Vegas, Chance Nicole Klokstad for the Warriors. Broncos golden ticket. Reece Welsh, parallel for Broncos. Marquee, Big Tino for the Titans. Dally M, Harry Grant for the Storm. Kale Iro, parallel for the Sharks. Vegas, Jesse Ramian for the Sharks. Reed Marnie, parallel for the Bulldogs. In the reps, Keely Joseph. Jamie Chapman, pink diamond for the Titans, number 13. Ali, parallel for the Warriors. New recruit Sanua Taruva for Tigers. White Young Guns, Jackson Purdue for the Cowboys, 126. Isaac Tago, parallel for Panthers. In the reps, James Fisher Harris. Molly Olaka'atu for Manly. G'day, Craig. New recruit Aaron Clark for the Warriors. Let's go. box number 2. To be fair, John, like what you're asking compared to a golden ticket and a 1-on-1, that it's definitely on the lower end of the scale. At least we're guaranteed to hit 2 emeralds in the case. We've got no guarantees of the other ones. New recruit Sotili Tupanua for the Bulldogs. New recruit Carter Gordon for the Titans. Dally M, Abby Church for the Eels. DCE parallel for Manly. In the reps, Lindsay Collins. Marquee, Nico Hines for the Sharks. Sam McIntyre, parallel for the Cowboys. Sapphire Mojo, Keon Kolomatangi for the Rabbitohs. Number 5. Tyson Frizzell, parallel for the Knights. Kalen Ponga, marquee for the Knights. Vegas, Apsai Coruscant for Tigers. How about we go marquee, happy for Tigers, number 83 in the gold. Vegas. Ooh. I don't even know. Jack Wyatt and parallel for the Rabbitohs. New recruit John Bateman for the Cowboys. In the Knights for the Masters series, Daniel Saifiti, parallel for Dolphins. In the reps, Xavier Coates. Black Young Guns, Lycan King Togia for the Dragons, 123. Joe Offengowie, parallel for the Eels. Ruby Mojo, Lachlan Ellis for the Dragons, number 39. Storm parallel checklist. You recruit Zach Lomax for the Eels. Nico Hines, Vegas for the Sharks. Jaden Sewer, parallel for the Dragons. Marquee, Tegan Berry for the Dragons. Dally Am, Zach Lomax for the Dragons. Keanu Kinney, parallel for the Titans. New recruit Jamie Humphries for the Rabbitohs. White Young Guns, Benjamin Takura for the Broncos, 131. Parallel, Ethan Strange for the Raiders. New recruit Asaya Papali'i for the Panthers. Matthew Tomoko, Vegas for the Raiders. Sandon Smith, parallel for the Roosters. In the reps, Shanice Parker. In the reps, Millie Elliott for the Gillaroos. Alright, last packet for our second box. Parallel, Sanua Taruva for Tigers. New recruit Adam Fanua Blake for the Sharks. Vegas Wade Egan for the Warriors. Murray Talagi parallel for the Cowboys. In the reps, Mitchell Moses. Marquee Adam Fanua Blake for the Sharks. Dominic Young parallel for the Roosters. New recruit Stefano for the Storm. Well, that was easy, John. We've only just started. Rabbitohs parallel checklist. Marquee Tommy Turbo for Manly. Black League Sensations, number 36, Mitchell Barnett for the Warriors. Isaiah Katoa, parallel for the Dolphins. New recruit Val Holmes for the Dragons. Blues in the Masters Series. Jermaine Hopgood, parallel for the Eels. In the reps, a Romy Titzel. Jillaroos, Julia Robinson. Jacob Preston, parallel for the Bulldogs. Ruby Mojo, Liam Martin for the Panthers, number 47. Val Holmes, parallel for the Dragons. New recruit, James Schiller for the Knights. Sapphire Mojo, Brian Toff for Panthers, number 19. RCG, parallel for Titans. Marquee, Val Holmes for the Dragons. Dally M, Jack Bostock for the Dolphins. Corey Horsburgh, parallel for the Raiders. Dally M, Isabel Kelly for the Roosters. Ryan Pappenhausen, parallel for Storm. In the reps, Josh Kerr. New recruit, Ben Hunt for the Broncos. White Young Guns, Joe Chan for Storm, number 90. Gerald Skelton, parallel for the Tigers. Isabel Kelly in the reps. Pink Diamond, Taryn Aiken for the Roosters, number 58. James Schiller, parallel for the Titans. For the Knights, sorry. There's nothing major yet, Beck, but still plenty to go. We're only at the end of box 3. New recruit, Marky Mark for the Roosters. Alright, box number 4. Emerald Mojo, number 3. Jerome Hughes for Storm. There we go, Beck. It was just waiting for you to come along. Angus Crichton, parallel for the Roosters. New recruit, Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons. Vegas, Tiana Penatani for the Jillaroos. Ryan Madison, parallel for the Eels. In the reps, Lauren Brown. Marquee, Liam Martin for Panthers. Marcelo Montoya, parallel for the Bulldogs. New recruit, Ethan Sanders for the Raiders. Marquee, Jamie Chapman for the Titans. Golden Age, number 30 for the Panthers. Eliza Katoa, parallel for Storm. You recruit Jamie Humphries for the Rabbitohs. In the Blues for the Masters Series. Jacob Little. I was about to say Jason Little, but no, I was right the first time. Parallel for the Dragons. In the reps, Angus Crichton. Vegas, Nathan Cleary for Panthers. Milwaukee Fotoika, parallel for Titans. Ruby Mojo, number 12, Bo Fermor for the Titans. Jesse Arthurs, parallel for Broncos. New recruit, Carter Gordon for the Titans. Parallel, Cameron McInnes for the Sharks. Marquee, Josh Papali'i for the Raiders. Dally M, Isaiah Yeo for Panthers. Panthers parallel checklist. New recruit, Isaiah Papali'i for Panthers. White Young Guns, Fletcher Sharp for the Knights, number 69. Jake Trbojevic, parallel for Manly. In the reps, Julia Robinson for Gillaroos. Fourth last packet, fourth box, number 4. Daly M, Olivia Koenig for the Roosters. Luke Metcalf, parallel for the Warriors. In the reps, Kalen Ponga. Pink Diamond, Casey Ray for the Dragons, number 18. Ruben Cotter, parallel for the Cowboys. New recruit, Zach Lomax for the Eels. And that's the end of box number 4. Let's go, box number 5. New recruit, Chad Townsend for the Roosters. White Young Guns, Jai Gray for the Rabbitohs, number 186. Eels parallel checklist. Vegas, Isabel Kelly for the Gillaroos. David Fafita, parallel for the Titans. In the reps, Taryn Aiken for the Gillaroos. Marquee, Reese Walsh for the Broncos. Xavier Savage, parallel for the Raiders. In the reps, Bree Chester. Emerald Mojo. Number 3, Ethan Strange for the Raiders. Don't worry, John, we can still hit it in the USA or the priority. Valami kick out, parallel for the Bulldogs. New recruit, Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons. Pink Diamond, Kira Gibb for the Cowboys, number 18. Roger Tuivasa Sheck for the Warriors. New recruit, Lazarus for Storm. Marquee, Isabel Kelly for the Roosters. Vegas, Paul Alamotti for Panthers. Selwyn Cobbo, parallel for the Broncos. New recruit, Ethan Sanders for the Raiders. In the Masters series for the Blues, Braden Trindle, parallel for the Sharks. In the reps, Zach Lomax. Paul Alamonte, parallel for Panthers. New recruit, Shabarsky for the Broncos. Ruby Mojo, Cam Munster, number 26 for the Storm. Tyrone Munro, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Marquee, Jack Whiten for the Rabbitohs. Fifth last packet for box number 5. In the reps, the Hammer. We have a Team League Sensations. Number 23. Leo Thompson for the Knights. Congratulations, Johnny D. And Leo Thompson, parallel for the Knights. So if you weren't here to see it, it's gone. You'll have to wait for the pictures now. Angus Crichton, Dally M for the Roosters. Max Platt, parallel for Dolphins. Beck, you getting excited now? New recruit, Matt Arthur for the Knights. I sort of feel when we hit that Team League Sensation, it definitely increases the chances of hitting the dual SIG. We don't seem to hit that along with the Masters Series signatures. Dally M, Tiana Penatani for the Sharks, and Jareem Buller, parallel for the Tigers. Mind you, I say that, and I opened the case yesterday, and we hit Bradley, Team League Sensation, and yeah, I hit nothing else. When I say nothing else, when I hit that, I look for the ball patch and the duo. I expect one of them. Obviously, that isn't 100%, but that's sort of, yeah. Dylan Edwards, Vegas for Panthers. Christian, parallel for the Dragons. In the reps, Olivia Koenig. Marquee, Abby Church for the Eels. Jaden Campbell, parallel for the Titans. Yes, no, I wouldn't be holding my breath either, Beck. Number one, I'm never right. You don't rely on me. Colton Marquis Samayama Torfa for the Raiders, number 14. And even if I was right, there's no guarantee TLA's going to hold up their end of the bargain. Jack Williams, parallel for the Eels. Just when you think you have stuff worked out, they throw a spanner in the works and throws you right off. New recruit Jazz Tavega for Manly. Black Young Guns, Carter Gordon for the Titans. Bronson Sherry, parallel for the Bulldogs. Marquee, Happy for the Tigers. Vegas, Corey Horsburgh for the Raiders. James Fisher-Harris, parallel for the Warriors. New recruit Sanua Taruva for the Tigers. In the Blues for the Masters Series, Payne Haas, parallel for Broncos. In the Reps, Dally Cherry Evans. Parallel Sharks checklist. Ruby Mojo, Dominic Young for the Roosters. Number 28. Lachlan Galvin, parallel for Tigers. New recruit Carl Lawton for the Cowboys. Zahara Tamara, pink diamond for the Raiders, number 65. Bradman Best, parallel for the Knights. Marquee, Ruben Cotter for the Cowboys. New recruit Marcelo Montoya for the Bulldogs. Dally M. Samima Torfa for the Raiders. Raiders parallel checklist. In the Reps, Keezy Apps for Gillaroos. Dally M. Eliza Katoa for Storm. Campbell Graham parallel for Rabbitohs. New recruit Cooley Kefu for the Dolphins. White Young Guns Atane for the Warriors. Number 17. The Hammer, parallel for Dolphins. Connor Watson in the reps. Last packet to box number 6. New recruit Lewis Dodd for the Rabbitohs. In the reps, Quincy Dodd. Marquee, Dallin Watine-Zelezniak for the Warriors. Parallel, Ruben Garrick for Manly. New recruit, Matt Arthur for the Knights. White Young Guns, Oren Keeley for the Dolphins, number 92. AJ Brinson, parallel for the Titans. In the reps, Ali Brigginshaw for the Jillaroos. Sapphire Mojo, Sandon Smith for the Roosters, number 18. Sebastian Chris, parallel for the Raiders. New recruit, Aaron Clark for the Warriors. Daliam Shannon Mato for the Titans. Dylan Edwards, parallel for Panthers. New recruit, Shabarsky for the Broncos. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Vegas for the Warriors. Tigers, parallel checklist. Marquee, Stephen Crichton for the Bulldogs. Number 56, Jaden Brayley, patch for the Knights. Kalen Ponga, parallel for the Knights. New recruit, Chad Townsend for the Roosters. In the Masters Series for the Knights, Jai Arrow, parallel for the Rabbitohs. the reps, Harry Grant. Parallel, Tom Gilbert for the Dolphins. In the reps, Jamie Chapman. A Ruby Mojo, Jack Williams for the Eels, number 42. James Tedesco, parallel for the Roosters. New recruit, Lazarus for Storm. 5 packets left for the box. Golden Age, number 115 for the Dolphins. Harry Grant, parallel for Storm. New recruit, Hohepa for the Sharks. Vegas, Braden Trindle for the Sharks. Jackson Purdue, parallel for the Cowboys. Marquee, Herbie Farmworth for Dolphins. Dally M, Stephen Crichton for the Bulldogs. And Clinton Gutherson, parallel for the Dragons. Alright, that is the end of box number 7. I am going to duck off for a quick second, guys. Bear with me. I am going to mute. I'll be back in a second. Sorry guys, a couple too many coffees before we started. Let's go. Box number 8. New recruit John Bateman for the Cowboys. It's funny looking at the screen. I'm still opening the last box. I never left. New recruit for Manly. White Young Guns, Blaze Talagi for Panthers, number 48. Stephen Crichton, parallel for the Bulldogs. Stacey Awaka Dali M for the Broncos. Joseph Tarpanay, parallel for the Raiders. Patrick Carrigan in the reps. In the reps, Jack Whiten. Put it in the right one. And our BD, number 1, Brian To'o for Panthers. I lost my team list. Where's my team list? There's my team list. Josh Ellis with Panthers today. Nice hit, mate. Mitchell Barnett, parallel for the Warriors. New recruit Jerome Lowe for the Tigers. Golden Marquee, Latrell Mitchell for the Rabbitohs, number 65. Corey Pay, parallel for the Broncos. New recruit Saitili Tupanua for the Bulldogs. James Tedesco, marquee for the Roosters. Oh, that's awesome. Nice. Vegas, Blake Brayley for the Sharks. Blake Brayley, parallel for the Sharks. New recruit James Fisher-Harris for the Warriors. In the Kangaroos for the Masters Series, Liam Martin, parallel for Panthers. In the reps, Zali Faye. Parallel Manly checklist. Ruby Mojo, Isaiah Katoa for the Dolphins, number 13. Jai Gray, parallel for the Rabbitohs. New recruit Daniel Saifiti for the Dolphins. number 41 in the ball patch. So it'll get randomized between all 17 spots at the end of the break. Jeremy Marshall King, parallel for the Dolphins. Hudson Young, Vegas for the Raiders. Knights parallel checklist. I was really surprised with having the Super Boot insert that they didn't have a boot patch this year. In the reps, Avania Pelite. Marquee Payne Haas for the Broncos. Dally M. Jerome Hughes for the Storm. Dylan Brown, parallel for the Eels. Last packet for box number 8. Marquee Jesse Southwell for the Knights and Mr. Lowe, parallel for the Tigers. Alright, box number 9. In the reps, Reece Walsh. Harry Grant, Sapphire Mojo, number 11. Big Tino, parallel for Titans. You recruit Lewis Dodd for the Rabbitohs. And Vegas, Ethan Strange for the Raiders. Adam Dewey, parallel for the Tigers. Oh, thank you. Jamie Humphries, parallel for the Rabbitohs. You recruit Matty Nicholson for the Raiders. In the reps, Tommy Turbo. Marquee Zach Lomax for the Eels. Renato Molisalo, parallel for the Sharks. You recruit Regan Campbell Gillard for the Titans. Vegas Liam Martin for Panthers. Tommy Turbo, parallel for Manly. White Young Guns, Harry Hayes for the Bulldogs, number 146. Parallel, Lachlan Ellis for the Dragons. Dally M, Kimberly Hunt for the Dragons. Chance Nicole Klokstad, parallel for the Warriors. In the reps, Lily Ann Wyatt. Ruby Mojo, number 21. James Fisher-Harris for the Warriors. Cowboys parallel checklist. Blaze Talagi, new recruit for Panthers. Golden Age, number 13 for the Dragons. Spencer Linu, parallel for the Roosters. Marquee Tommy Dearden for the Cowboys. Dally M, Stephen Crichton for the Bulldogs. Will Warbrick, parallel for Storm. You recruit Asaya Iongi for the Eels. You recruit Marcelo Montoya for the Bulldogs. In the Knights for the Masters Series, Jacob Saifiti, parallel for the Knights. 3 packets left for box number 9. Black Young Guns, number 12. Blake Moser for the Broncos. Matthew Tomoko, parallel for the Raiders. Marquee Keezy Apps for the Tigers. Final packet for box number 9 to make Upton in the Jillaroos. Alright, let's keep going with box number 10. Good throwing knives around. You don't do that. I am going to pinch a drink of my nice fresh delivery. Cheers, Mum and Dad. New recruit Marky Mark for the Roosters. Dally M. We haven't had one of these for a while. Julie Robinson and Sheridan Gallagher. So that'll get randomised between Knights and Broncos at the end. Cody Walker, parallel for the Rabbitohs. That's if we don't hit another one in the next two boxes. If we hit another one, we will just give one each. In the reps, Samima Torfa for Jill Roos. I was going to put her in Raiders then for a second. Brian To'o, parallel for Panthers. New recruit Blaze Talagi for Panthers. Sapphire Mojo checklist number 18 for the Bulldogs. Jason Saab, parallel for Manly. Marquee, Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons. Something that randomly just popped in my head that I did mean to tell everyone earlier. We received the 1-of-1 replicas for 24 Elite Master Sets. So the one out of the Master Set number, what are we, 3? 4. Is now, the 2 are now listed on the website. So check them out. They look pretty cool, guys. Angus Crichton, Golden Marquee, number 13. And just because I can, because I know it's sitting. Here they are. What do we got? Martin Tapau, Sione Katoa, Alifiana Khan Piera, and Ben Chaboyevich on that one. And Kira Dibb, Joey Lussick, Jerome Lowe, and the Shack on that one. As I said, they are listed on the website for sale, guys. And once again, I think they look awesome. I did mean to mention them earlier. Thomas Duffy, parallel for the Cowboys. New recruit, Isaiah Iongi for the Eels. Andrew Johns in the Kangaroos for the Masters Series. Victor Bradley, parallel for the Roosters. In the reps, Dane Gagai. Vegas, Jessica Surgis for Jillaroos. Jack Howarth, parallel for Storm. White League Sensations, number 84. Herbie Farnworth for the Dolphins. Matt Burton, parallel for the Bulldogs. New recruit, Matty Nicholson for the Raiders. A Ruby Mojo, number 5. Sharks checklist. Wade Egan, parallel for the Warriors. Marquee, Tiana Penatani for the Sharks. New recruit, Val Holmes for the Dragons. Vegas, Jackson Ford for the Warriors. Adokar, parallel for the Eels. What did you think of the 1-of-1 replicas? Shannon Mato in the reps. Dally M, Herbie Farmworth for the Dolphins. Broncos, parallel checklist. Fourth last packet for our 10th box, last box of the case. Marquee, Cameron Munster for Storm. Herbie Farmworth, parallel for the Dolphins. New recruit, Regan Campbell Gillard for the Titans. White Young Guns, Isaiah Iongi for the Eels, number 30. Adam Fanua Blake, parallel for the Sharks. In the reps, Cameron Murray. Alright, let's go into our second last box of the break. Let's do the USA. First up, out of the box, Super Boot number 59 of 59, Luke Metcalf for the Warriors. Sandon Smith, parallel for the Roosters. New recruit, Aaron Clark for the Warriors. Ruby Mojo, Panthers checklist, number 23. Storm, parallel checklist. Marquee, Bradman, best for the Knights. Marquee, Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons. Roger Tuivasa Sheck, parallel for the Warriors. New recruit, Cooley Kefu for the Dolphins. Vegas, Jesse Aramian for the Sharks. Selwyn Cobbo, parallel for the Broncos. Golden Marquee, Samima Torfa for the Raiders, number 19. Jaden Sewer, parallel for the Dragons. Stars and Stripes, Daniel Tupou for the Roosters, number 20. New recruit, Hohepa for the Sharks. Masters Series for the Knights. Keanu Kinney, parallel for the Titans. In the reps, Angus Crichton. White League Sensations, number 60. Victor Radley for the Roosters. Ethan Strange, parallel for the Raiders. Vegas Chance Nicole Klokstad for the Warriors. Paul Alamotti, parallel for Panthers. Marquee DCE for Manly. In the reps, Kalen Ponga. Pink Diamond, Avania Polite for the Titans, number 34. Braden Trindle, parallel for the Sharks. Stars and Stripes, Sam Stonestreet for the Sharks, number 32. New recruit, Jazz Tavega for Manly. Daly M. Eliza Katoa for Storm. Daly Cherry Evans, parallel for Manly. New recruit, Sanua Taruva for Tigers. White Young Guns, Clayton Forlalo for Manly, number 161. Sam McIntyre, parallel for the Cowboys. In the reps, Julia Robinson. 3 packets left for our USA box. New recruit, Carl Lawton for the Cowboys. Daly M. Samima Torfa for the Raiders. And Valami Kikau, parallel for the Bulldogs. Last packet for the box. In the reps, Lauren Brown. Alright, let's move on. Final box of the break. We have our priority. Jaden Campbell in the reps. Ruby Mojo of Warriors checklist number 18. Jack Whiten parallel for the Rabbitohs. New recruit Shabaski for the Broncos. Golden Age number 10 for the Eels. Daniel Saifiti parallel for the Dolphins. Priority marquee number 31 for the Dolphins. Dalian Samaima Torfa for the Raiders. Joe Offengowie parallel for the Eels. New recruit Chad Townsend for the Roosters. Priority Young Guns number 16. Lockie Galvin for the Tigers. Bulldogs parallel checklist. In the reps, Kennedy Sherrington. Sapphire Mojo, Jerome Hughes for Storm, number 6. Adam Pompey parallel for the Warriors. New recruit Clinton Gutherson for the Dragons. Black Young Guns, Marky Mark for the Roosters, number 144. Adam Reynolds parallel for the Broncos. Priority marquee DCE for Manly, number 13. Vegas, Tamika Upton for the Gillaroos. Jesse Ramian parallel for the Sharks. New recruit Ethan Sanders for the Raiders. In the Knights for the Masters Series, Isaiah Yeo, parallel for Panthers. In the Reps, Ben Hunt. Parallel, Luke Brooks for Manly. New recruit Lazarus for Storm. Dally M, Eliza Katoa for Storm. Ethan Strange, parallel for Raiders. In the Reps, Yasmin Clydesdale. Priority Marquee, Cameron Munster for the Storm. Number 7. There we go. Sanoa Taruba, parallel for the Tigers. 2 packets left. New recruit Matt Arthur for the Knights. And lucky last packet for break 399. We have Vegas, Nathan Cleary, and Tyson Frizzell, parallel for the Knights. Alright, we have 4 randomizations to do before we say goodbye. First up will be the Julia Robinson and Sheridan Gallagher Dally M between Broncos and Knights. Second will be our Gillaroos cards, Reps and Vegas, as one lot between all 17 teams. Next up will be our Masters Series cards, all 12 of them. And last but not least will be number 41 in the Indigenous ball patch. That'll be between all 17 teams as well. So let's change screens and find out who is getting what. Everyone is loaded in and ready to go. I will copy that team list, but to start off with, we only need Broncos and Knights. 3 times round the merry-go-round. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Johnny D with Knights. Next up is the Gillaroos cards. Let's refresh. There we go. Number 1, number 2, and lucky last, number 3. Peter Lowe with the Warriors. Next up will be the Masters Series. Number 1, number 2, and lucky last, number 3. John Mannah with the Bulldogs. Alright, last up for the break is the ball patch. One last randomization. Let's go 3 times. Number 1, number 2, and lucky last, number 3. David Wyatt with the Dolphins. Alright guys, thank you to everyone for joining us for $3.99. Hopefully we'll be able to do the team randomizer for break 400, and we will be live right here on our YouTube channel Monday morning with that one. So coming once again and say hello. Until then guys, that is all. Hope you had a ball. See you all again.